Hi there, everybody. I'm Lisa Taylor. Thank you so much for joining me. It is so nice to be in this community, and I just appreciate all of you who watch so much, and the comments and the emails and everything. Anyway, just love the love. I put a little comment about noticing our thoughts and managing those moments. I had an experience on the freeway. I live in LA and spend a bit of time on the freeway, and was coming back from a meeting late at night, and there's this part of the 405 when you're going up over the hill into the valley, some of you may be familiar with it, where there's a lane on the right where people have come on from an exit earlier, but this lane continues for quite a ways. And it is tempting sometimes to sort of go into that lane, even if you're on the freeway and have been on the freeway, to go into that lane and kind of pass people on the right. So I was behind a guy who was going quite slowly, well, a lot slower than I was going, and I was tempted to go to the right and go by him and then cut in the appropriate amount of time where the lane ends and the arrows point your way in. And I thought, I really don't need to do that. I really don't need to be in that much of a hurry that I need to go off to the right. So I kind of recognized the thought, and the reason I recognized the thought, I'll tell you a little story because it links to another experience that I shared here before. I chose not to go into the right lane, and no sooner than I had chosen that, the split second later, this guy in like a black Charger must have, I don't know, no condemnation or judgment there, but came racing up that alley, up that lane, going at least 20 or 30 miles an hour faster than we were going, speeding up the lane and then cut in front of us. And if I had chosen to go into that lane, because I didn't really notice there was somebody there, it seemed like it was wide open. I think he was going so fast I didn't even see him in my mirror. If I'd chosen to go around this guy, I would have gotten creamed by him. Guaranteed. He would have, it would not have been pretty. So I'm just really grateful that when we notice a thought, and there's a lot of importance in noticing whether thoughts are divine or human. If we notice a thought and it's a divine thought, it's going to keep us safe, it's going to keep us aligned, it's going to keep us on purpose. If we notice a thought and it's ego driven, I'm rushing, I'm feeling out of purpose, I'm feeling like I need to get past this person, whatever, that's not going to lead us into a very good place. So I noted the thought, and I'll tell you why I noted the thought. Because when I had the motorcycle accident that I shared with you a couple weeks ago, the stop sign before the accident, there was a car in front of me. And because I'm on a motorcycle, I can go up next to the car. And it's actually advisable to do that because then you're not sucking exhaust. So whenever you see motorcycles coming up alongside, it's not always that they want to beat you off the line. It's that they don't want to suck exhaust behind your car. So I learned that when I got a motorcycle. So anyway, I pulled up next to him, and then I zipped off in front of him instead of letting him go and going up behind him. If I hadn't done that, if I hadn't been in such a hurry, if I hadn't thought, I can like jump to the front of the line, I wasn't doing it for the exhaust purposes. I was doing it because I was kind of, I can go a little faster. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have been in the place where I was when the SUV pulled in front of me. And I thought about that later, and it was actually a very good lesson to me because the mode of thinking that I was in was kind of a hurried mode of thinking, which is not divine thinking. It's human thinking. Because in the divine, we're always in our right place, we're always in flow, we're always on purpose, and it is only the ego that would presume to think that we know better and that we have a better plan and that we need to rush things along. So recalling that instance when I'm on the freeway, I thought, okay, in this instance, I'm not going to pull in the lane and pull around the guy. I could have done it legitimately. The lane is there, not a problem. But I thought twice about it because of the incident with the motorcycle. And I thought, no, I'm going to be patient and I'm just going to wait. And because I waited and I didn't pull around him, I didn't get into a massive accident. So my note tonight is really just a very simple one. Notice in those little moments where your thinking is. Notice if your thought is being led into a sense of the divine or a sense of the human. Are thoughts divine or human? And just use your discernment to know whether this is the highest level of thinking that you can achieve in your experience. If you're being guided by truth, if you're letting your thought be uplifted by the Christ consciousness, then your thought is divine. If you're allowing your thought to be run by your ego, by fear, by any sense of sort of wanting to control a situation from the ego, it's not going to lead you in the highest way. So I'm just encouraging us all to notice those little moments. It comes down to those little tiny moments of thought flitting through. Notice what's the origin of the thought. Is it divine or human? And lean into the divine and lean away from the human ego-driven thought. It's either love or fear, right? Divine is love-based, ego is fear-based. So just be aware of the moments. That's my plea to me and to you if you'd like to join me. That's my plea. Be aware in the littlest, tiniest moments the tendency of your thought and mind your thought. Lean into the divine, lean away from the ego. That's it. A very simple thought tonight, but one that's very powerful and saved me from getting into a massive car accident. And I'm really grateful for that. All right. Love you guys. Bye.